For those of you who are new to the channel, the way I normally structure news videos when it comes to the TV show that I specialize in, like many of the doctors on Grey's Anatomy do, I wait for the news to drop in threes. And Grey's Anatomy has been very sparse with news, which I think is kind of annoying because it is such a popular show. And we're actually going to talk about Grey's Anatomy marketing towards the end of this episode. But three stories have finally dropped, and one's, I guess, a story, and it's essentially me drawing a conclusion from an interview which I had put a link to in the video description. So the first, and I guess the biggest news announcement, is Grey's Anatomy is going to be back January 17th. I'm very excited to have a release date. I'm very, very excited. I can't wait for the show to return. I loved reviewing the first 8 episodes of season 15. I really wish that I got on the Grey's Anatomy train in terms of review videos a lot long ago. Yeah. I really wish I had been reviewing it with Once Upon a Time because I really do like the show. I think it's so much fun to discuss. So I'm really looking forward to it coming back. And because there's, I believe, 24 episodes this season, we're getting 16 episodes. So we have a lot to discuss this fall. So that's a lot of videos to come out, and I'm really looking forward to making trailer reviews and possibly sneak peek reviews and episode reviews. So there's a lot. I'm really looking forward to it. And also, it did have a fantastic cliffhanger finale with the mid-season ending, and I really am looking forward to seeing, how the Meredith and DeLuca thing is going to be resolved, how Teddy and Owen is going to work through their issues. There's a lot to happen. And also, I've noticed that Sara Ramirez has been saying on her social media that she'd be more than willing to come back to Grey's Anatomy for a appearance in some capacity, and I have a feeling that she is going to be back really soon, and at some point this season would be fantastic if it was like the season finale, but at any point would it be fantastic. I was talking to one of my cousins who is a big Grey's fan. My mom's a big Grey's fan. My sister's a big Grey's fan. And we were all trying to figure out what actress would you want to have back on the show. And my cousin who keeps up with it, like she watches it week to week like I do, she went, I want Callie or Addison back. And I'm like, totally agree. Though I know a lot of people love Arizona and April. And honestly, I would love to see Arizona, April, Callie, and Addison all return. Christina as well. There's so many characters that we've lost that we want to come back. But I think in terms of this season, the one that makes the most sense is for Callie to return because we have a new ortho god. And this guy, Chris Carmack, I just can't get on board with him being an ortho god. But anyway, so the season will be back January 17th, and I'll be covering that trailer if we get a new one. And obviously the episode itself, maybe a new sneak peek that's not on Twitter. So before we get into the second news story, I briefly want to talk about marketing with the show. So Grey's Anatomy marketing has been really weird recently, and it's been so bad that first off, the trailer for episode 9, which is my most reviewed or most watched Grey's Anatomy video to date, which I'm thrilled about, but the trailer is so sparse, and I know for a fact that people want to see something of value from the show, and I really feel that the lack of substance with Grey's Anatomy marketing is a disservice to the fans, because the Grey's Anatomy fan base, I wouldn't say it's as intensive as like the Once Upon a Time fan bases, or even the DC hero fan base. It's very vocal on Twitter. It's also the age demographics and whatnot. But the Grey's fan base is strong. Like it's very much there. Like they really want to see new stuff, as most fan bases do. And I really feel that ABC doesn't market the show the way it used to. In fact, I noticed this during season 11, the season where Derek died. That was the season 4 of Once Upon a Time, which was the Frozen and Evil Queens of Darkness, as the show called it, arc. And Grey's Anatomy was marketed heavily. I was looking at the promotional materials for season 11 and the promotional materials for season 4 of Once Upon a Time. And as I said, they both came out together. ABC marketed that hard. They marketed season 10 of Grey's Anatomy really hard, which was the end of Christina. And then they also had marketed season 3 of Once Upon a Time really hard because that was the Peter Pan and Wicked Witch storyline. Like it was a lot of material, and a lot of those shows were in their prime, I would feel at this point. Grey's Anatomy still does great viewers-wise or ratings-wise, but it's not as good as it was in season 1 or 2. But my point is, I really feel that you can truly see a flux in marketing. For one thing, episode 9 doesn't have a proper trailer. Like the trailer that I've reviewed had nothing of actual substance for episode 9. I was really disappointed in it. And then we still don't have promotional pics, and we still don't have the title. So once we get the title, that video will get its or that title will get its own video, because I want to see stuff. I want to see promo pics. I want to see a legitimate trailer, and I also want to know what it's going to be called. I mean, this is a big premiere coming back because we have a lot to talk about in that episode. As I said, we have what will Meredith do with DeLuca, and what will happen between Teddy and Owen. And obviously, Teddy and Owen's storyline will span out several more episodes. At least, you know, Owen now knows she's pregnant. So the next story to discuss is Jennifer Grey has been cast for a secret multi-episode arc. Now, I looked up Jennifer Grey, and she seems to be a working actress. She's been in lots of TV shows. I've actually seen several of the TV shows she's been in, but she doesn't stick out to me. Like, I'm not seeing Jennifer Grey and going, yes, this is who I want on the show. But, you know, I think the idea of a secret multi-episode arc is cool. She's about 9 years older than Ellen Pompeo, so I'm curious, like, will she be an experienced surgeon? I mean, we do have the whole issue with Debbie Allen's character of Catherine Avery being very sick. So I do wonder if maybe she's going to be called in to help deal with Catherine's illness, or will she be a patient of great importance to Meredith or Richard or whomever. Point is, I think it's cool that the show is like, yay, new character, it's secret, and we're not going to tell you anything. But Grey's Anatomy has never been like that. Because Grey's Anatomy isn't a mystery show, a Scandal is very much a mystery show. It's like kind of like who done it, and Once Upon a Time is like who did this curse. Supergirl, what's the main villain going to do? Grey's Anatomy is very serialized. It's extremely episodic. It's fantastic. I love it. But, you know, it doesn't have the need to be secretive. Because we just want to see storylines get played out, and then once they wrap up, we're done and happy. Then we want to see the next one. And also, it's extremely character-driven. So, you know, we don't have, like, Meredith Grey. She's not trying to deal with a big bad. She's not trying to solve a mystery. She might be trying to figure out a disease for a couple episodes, but then once that's wrapped up in, you know, 3 to 4 episodes, it's on to the next problem, which I think is a great way to get a storyline out there. So I do wonder why they would go secret and not just be like, Jennifer Grey is playing blah, 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 because quite frankly, it doesn't make sense. It's reverse marketing the way the show is doing it, because this is how they marketed Scandal. It's how they marketed Once Upon a Time. This is not how you market Grey's Anatomy. You tell us that she's going to be... You don't have to give us a character's name, but you could at least be like, she's going to be cast as a surgeon or a patient with an impact on XYZ's character. So anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing... I'm really looking forward to seeing more episodes. Jennifer Grey's appearance on the show is not, like, earth-shattering to me. But point is, I think any news is good news. All right, so then... I'm so sorry with my pronunciation of his name. I can't say it, and I am half Italian. Giacomo Gianniotti, he had a couple interviews. As I said, there's links to them in the video description. And he blatantly ships Meredith and DeLuca. He talked about how in the episode 9, they're in the elevator for a while. So that makes me think that him and Ellen are going to be stuck until more or less the end of the episode. And there might be a makeout scene in that. From the way he discussed it, I can only infer a makeout. But he clearly ships Merluca, which makes sense because why would he want to be in competition with Chris Carmack? I think, you know, he does give off Derek vibes. It makes sense. I actually ship Merluca as opposed to Link Dare. I can't even do it. I don't care for Meredith and Link. But in his interview, he talked also about what would happen if Ellen Pompeo leaves the show. And quite frankly, if Ellen Pompeo left Grey's Anatomy, that's when Grey's Anatomy needs to end, because you don't have Meredith Grey anymore. The whole show, I know that sometimes you can watch a show with like a main character's, you know, name in the title and then like not really care about said main character. Like people can watch The Flash and they can watch it for Caitlin Snow. You can watch Supergirl and watch it for Alex Danvers, which actually I feel like a lot of people would, because Shiloh Leigh is a fantastic actress. She was also in Grey's Anatomy for several seasons. So you don't have to be like, oh, I'm watching Supergirl for Supergirl. But with Grey's Anatomy, Meredith is so vital to the show, and it's obvious that if she left the show, I would be like, oh, let's not have that happen. But he clearly ships Merluca and says a lot of stuff is going to happen with them, at least in that episode and possibly another episode going forward. So I'm really curious to see what's going to be going on there. So there's a good chunk of Grey's Anatomy storylines. I was really happy to at least cover these briefly with you guys. And as I said, if we get a title and promotional picks for episode 9, they will get their own separate videos because I'm looking forward to discussing them. So anyway, share your thoughts about these 3 stories. I appreciate you guys watching my report on Grey's Anatomy season 15, and I'll talk to you all really soon. If I don't have a video out in 2 weeks, I wish you all a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. All right, thanks guys.